What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot cards based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. I'm going to get a little more elaborate with that, Cancer. But your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, we're in a new lunar cycle. Happy Friday. It's Venus Day. Just all types of great energies just falling into place here. Just really lovely, Cancer. Hopefully you're feeling abundant, feeling beautiful. And Cancer, it's, I was going to say this is void, of course. No, it's not. It's, the moon's in Libra. I'm just ready to go void, of course, Cancer. But with the moon being in Libra, this is a very nice placement for the moon, Cancer, and you might be feeling a little more harmonious than normal. Thank you, because Libra's very balanced energy. You know, all about keeping the peace and whatnot. So this is a great energy for if you're noticing that I don't know, maybe if you've been feeling any sort of like inharmonious energies between like relationships, whether this be friends or family or at work. You know, you can act as that mediator, Cancer. You know, kind of see all sides of the scale and help kind of bring balance and I'm gonna be able to talk here in a second, Cancer. Bring balance into all relationships there. But also, Cancer, you might be feeling a little more charming than normal, because I tell you, Libra does have a way with words. So you might be this might be great energy too, Cancer. If you think about going on a date and you want to impress that certain someone, not that you're not impressive all the time, but you know, work with your energies. You know, it's Venus Day, so you know, why not, Cancer? And I like how that's linking up there. You know, but see you, girl. But also, Cancer, this can be a great energy for like business as well. You know, forming contracts, since Libra deals with those one-on-one relationships. You know, it could be great time for networking. But one kind of more sort of negative aspect with Libra is just like sometimes it can be a little indecisive, just because they do weigh all the options. So you might notice that if you're getting those kind of caught in that loop, their cycle, get caught up in a loop, then you might need to sentences. I'm blaming Mercury retrograde for this. That the energies. Now where was I even at? Oh, you might need a sounding board there, Cancer. I might need a sounding board here too in a minute. Rhonda might need to take over this reading. But also, Cancer, with the new moon, you know, let's actually just get in the mix so you know exactly what I'm talking about, Cancer. But also, that we're in the new moon phase. We're in a new lunar cycle, and with this energy, you know, the possibilities are just illimitable. You know, what is it that you want to accomplish? This is like to plant what you desire. You know, we're in the seeding phase right now, and this is an energy too to kind of check in with your spirit guides. You know, check in within, you know, higher self. You know, your guides, your angels, the ancestors, and figure receive like what makes sense, and you know, really kind of clarifying your intention for this new beginning, Cancer. Make a wish. This is very kind of full energy that's kind of coming through here, Cancer. So very exciting time. But last few things. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then let me get you not so in the way. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, because I'm going to knock her over. And also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching Cancer, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd enjoy them. But let's get into your general energy of the day. Who can't write? That's what I'm talking about. See, I told you, Cancer, I wanted to go void of course, because you got the fourth card of Gemini's here, which is the hammock card. Kick back, relax, and I'm going to get in the hammock one of these days, Cancer. With this card, nature my problem. But this is a card of rest, relax, time off, pause, suspend, sleep, supported, meditate, inactive, recovery, find relief, vacation, waiting, suspended between two things, in limbo, and self-actualization. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the pause. And even a little bit of the relax here, Cancer, because maybe for some, maybe there's been this energy of maybe we've been in like a kind of a stressful situation as of late, and there's this energy of needing to just kind of slow down and just kind of reevaluate some things, really think about our options. And maybe because sometimes too, when we do find ourselves in kind of heightened states of stress, that kind of like getting like that sort of fight or flight energy, that it can lead to this sort of like us to leading to like more reactive type of energies than if we were to just kind of take a moment. And I know it can kind of be hard when we're in the heat of it, but taking a moment to just pause, breathe, relax for a second, and kind of approach this thing from a calmer mindset, I feel like we're able to make decisions more decisively, and to make them more type of clear. So maybe this is something where, and I know we don't always get that luxury too, there might be something where it needs your decision like right now. And even in that moment, if you could just take a moment before you even answer, it's just like, okay. I feel like even that can, actually kind of helped me for me there. Cancer's run a million miles a minute. But that can even help you in more sort of like those immediate type of moments. Because sometimes too, I feel like we can forget about the breath and how important that is. And since we got all this air energy, Libra and Gemini coming through, that might be something to Cancer to get into. And that could even be difficult too. There was a period I was actually kind of on top of it. I kind of got a little kind of slack in there, but where taking more moments to just kind of find your breath again, because it's like we do it however many times a day, and it's just like it's become so second nature. But when we think about it, it really does bring us back to the present moment and allow us to begin to just kind of collect ourselves and really kind of find our thoughts there and bring this sense of calm and remind the body that it's just like, hey, you're not in danger. Hey, like, everything is fine. Like, what's going down here, or give us that proper response that is needed for that particular moment in time, as opposed to like a state of panic and fear and just like adrenaline and things along those lines there, Cancer. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. In Cancer, you'll have to forgive me. I forgot to switch decks. I was just thinking about that. See, I should have taken a moment and paused. Oh. Huh. Thank you. I will have a different deck for Monday. Yeah, I completely forgot. I think I did that last lunar cycle there too. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow, small reversal storm here, but that's all right, Cancer. So you have the Devil here, the Five of Moons, the Six of Moons, the Four of Swords, and then the Seven of Stars here. And then Cancer, the moons in this deck are cups, and then the stars are pentacles. And let's talk about the Devil for a moment. Because I feel like with the Devil popping up here, that there is this energy of kind of getting control. Because I feel like that the Devil is usually the things that we give our power up to, the things that have, when we find ourselves, because that's even interesting. There's a lot of when we find ourselves again in this like state of all right, Rhonda, now you're getting in the way. But now when we find ourselves in this state of like anxiety, or if we feel that there is this energy of like we're getting ready to even like lose everything, or just like, or maybe even just about to lose it, Cancer. But I feel like that it's like investing a little more time, I feel like, with the Seven of Stars here, to to again to like slow down a little bit, because I feel like the world is always going to be asking so much of us, and there's energies of, there's always going to be this anxiety as far as like, do I have all my bills paid, or am I going to be able to um or maybe there's even some like energies where we might even be kind of caught up in the past, even with the Six of Moons, because it may not even always be just future stuff that we're thinking about, like, like how am I going to do this, or how am I going to do that, do I have enough resources for this, but it's just like there could be this energy of like, how could this have happened, how could I make this decision, or just anything that keeps you away from the present moment. I feel like that's where we want to, to really sort of start investing our time, so that way that the past and the future don't necessarily control us like that. We take the energies from the past and establish them in the present in order for us, take actions in the present in order for us to establish this future. So, because it's like the past has already happened, so there's nothing we can do about it, and the future is yet to come. This is the most important time, this right here, right now, that really makes a difference. Even just thinking about how this like how the decks came through, it's just like there was even a reason for that, like, and that's just a random little bit, but let me get a little bit more with this Five of Moons here, Cancer. That may not have been the best example, but all right, Cancer. So the Five of Moons is clarified by the Ten of Moons and the Seven of Wands upright, and then you have the Page of Moons in reverse. And it feels like with this that there's like this criticizing energy. It's like maybe we've been just like upset with maybe how things have gone. It's like we've, I don't know, I feel like that there's this energy of, it's just like we've been, it's like when we did, it's like when we started up things that initially might have, that initially may have kind of felt right in the moment, but I don't know, I feel like there's this harsh energy of, hey, one more with the Ten of Moons. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I need one more with the Ten of Moons, and that's clarified by the Ten of Stars here, Cancer. And I feel like that it's just like maybe for some it's just like we've been maybe kind of criticizing ourselves maybe of the actions that we've taken, or when we've gotten into those more sort of like reactive type of energies, when the emotions may have gotten a little out of hand, or we felt that sort of pressure there, or maybe, or either pressure on ourselves, or maybe even pressure for others, and we feel like that really had affected our foundation, or like really has set us back in a way. But I feel like with the devil, it's like overcoming that mindset, is that everything that happens in this life is happening for a reason. If we just kind of pause and breathe and reflect on the second, we can learn from these situations here, and again to apply it to this present moment, so that we can bring this sense of ease here, because it's like this sense of anxiety, or that this sense of just like, it's just like this disappointment, or there's just like, and it's just like if we had only did it this way, then things would have gone that way. But I don't know, it's just like, again, there's like this again, Cancer, it's just like And again, that's kind of tough to get out of that mindset, especially when we feel like we've affected our future in a way. But again, it's like we're it's like with the future, it's just like in a sense we're already kind of living it. It's just like we're sure we can plan. We can only plan. I feel like so far ahead. I feel like with the 10 of Stars and the 10 of Moons, thinking about that wish fulfillment, that legacy, that happy home, happy family, happy just happy life. But and again, these moments in life are meant to help us grow and to help us meant to overcome. They're not the devil's not there to meant to keep you down. It's keep you growing and keep you just and really just to help you level up there, Cancer. All right. Yeah, I hope that made sense. It was even kind of getting like I don't know, like even like a 5 of Stars, like the 5 of Pentacles was kind of coming through there while I was even talking about that. That was a little interesting there, Cancer. But let's breathe and let's get a little bit more on this. Oh, interesting. All right, Cancer. So you have the Knight of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and then the Sun card here. And that's where I feel like, when we're able to stay more in that sort of, again, in that present moment, then there's that clarity that really kind of comes through there. We're able to operate from a different standpoint here. And I feel that maybe for some, there's going to be, the challenge is probably going to be, it's I feel like it's when other energies kind of come into the mix. When we have other perspectives, it's hard to kind of keep that focus when we have so many different swords kind of coming at us from different directions there. But I feel with the Knight of Wands is going to be one of those things that we're going to learn to kind of think faster on this when this energy is happening, just the more practice that we get into it. Because the Knight of Wands, he can be a very impulsive one as well. He's a pretty fast moving knight, him and the Knight of Swords. But I feel like with the Knight of Wands being here, it's just that even when we're in those sort of like those sort of decisions where I don't know, where we need to make kind of quicker ones and we don't really have enough time to pause like we would want to. There is this energy of try not to let that anxiety in things. I feel like with the 4 of Swords being in reverse here again, to let that take away from the joy that is life. That it doesn't need to be where that every decision is just like it's like this life or death type of thing. It's like this energy. There is this need to just kind of relax and enjoy, even when we do happen to make some mistakes there. Because the Knight of Wands, again, he's very passion driven, and sometimes he does get a little caught up, and things may not go quite how we had planned on, but again, this is a learning experience for us, as we're working towards this 10 of Stars and 10 of Moons, that the kind of long-term foundation there. And again, I feel like the more that we get into that practice of even taking those like brief moments, because a breath is not even that long, Cancer. When even if we take just like a quick one, okay, even sometimes that can even be enough. Like, okay, we created just a little, we broke that loop for a second, when the brain starts to turn, anything to just sort of like just put a little like even if the stick gets, how when you may try to, when you got something spinning real fast and you might put like a twig between to try to stop it, but it still just snaps it. Even then there's a millisecond pause there, and sometimes that can even help. I don't know, it's like, and I hope that makes sense, Cancer, that it just helps us keep that balance over time. And I feel like it just gets, and that might be something too to focus on during this new lunar cycle here, to make more time to kind of focus on the breath and to find ways that you can like or any ways to kind of just sort of snap you back to that present, whether this is I don't know, maybe we're wearing some beads and just kind of start counting the beads a little bit as we're making these decisions, or hmm. All right, Cancer. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there. But let's get some advice from Venus. Oh, there's that 5 of stars. Interesting. All right, Cancer. All right, last little bit here. All right, Cancer. So you have the 5 of stars and the Page of Swords upright, and then we have the 3 of moons, the Queen of Stars, and then the Page of Wands in reverse here. And then let's switch back over. Because I do kind of feel like with this energy, Cancer, because again, like the how I was explaining earlier, it's like I feel like the 5 of stars is like sort of like that future anxiety thinking, just like that we don't have enough, or that's like I'm more so thinking about like the anxiety of just sort of like the everyday things, where we're thinking about bills and we're thinking about maybe and how that sort of stuff can, I don't know, how our minds can get so trained on those thoughts, and it can prevent us from, with the Page of Swords there, and how that can be, if we're not careful with how that becomes, then we can miss out on the abundance that we have around us already, celebrating the present moment. Because here's the thing, like, for example, with bills, I feel like a lot of us, we all have bills that we're paying, have things that we have to do. And, sometimes it's like we can get that stuff paid off, but then we get thinking about, well, crap, or at least I'm good until next month. And it's just like, well, instead of that, it's just like, you know what? I'm great right now. That's time to celebrate. What am I going to do now that I got all this stuff right now? Because right now, all your debts are paid, until the next notice comes through. And then that allows you the time again to pause, celebrate, and then get a game plan, and it just sort of changes the dynamic a little bit, and shifts the energies in a way, and sort of like, and it gives you too, because I feel like if we focus on that energy too harshly, then it's like, I feel like being in the present now and keeping the things that we need to think about in the present, like now, it helps you to set your future self up for success. It's a challenge, Cancer, and I feel like it's something that we all are kind of working on there, but it does get, yeah, it does. I don't know, Cancer. It's like we're, because I'm even like, and this is kind of random here, Cancer, but I'm even kind of getting that song, that Bob Marley song, that every little thing is gonna be all right. And I think it is, Cancer. Like, and it can be. Sometimes we're not maybe sure how we're going to figure it out in the future, but bet Queen of Pentacles always figures it out in the end. Like, when she's under that pressure, she always comes up with the resources that she needs to get it done. It's just sometimes it's just like she needs to even take a moment, just kind of meditate and find her zen, and then that clarity with the sun comes there, Cancer. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there. Yeah, I hope that made sense. That was a nice little reading for a Friday there. I dig that. And again, Cancer, I'm sorry, I completely, because I try to switch the decks every lunar cycle, so I'm gonna get on that, because this is the second time I did that. It's like the first day I forgot, but then it's like the next I'm like, oh, right, shifting gears. But if any of that resonated with you, Cancer, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, because I do feel like it's just like when you're thinking about the, because I do got quite a bit of moons, a bit of stars here, thinking about and that kind of stuff, and kind of get kind of caught up in our head, and it can be a lot, and sometimes we can forget to just kind of relax a little bit and just like enjoy the journey. We're sure we have these little challenges and things, and maybe people criticize, and all that stuff, you know. But yeah, share this so that we can remember to just sort of like keep that zen and keep powering through there, because again, your devil's in reverse, and we're growing from this. And then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified when I release videos each day. And then last little bit, check your sun, check your moon, your rising, your for your readings and stuff, and check your Mercury, or excuse me, why not check your Mercury? Check your Venus. But and then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos. I'm just about to wrap up the monthly videos soon. I think I'm about to do Libras next. But and then I do yearly ones. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. And I like that. You got the Three of Wands here. And sometimes I feel like, Cancer, again, when we're focusing on the past, or if we're focusing on the future, then that, again, it prevents us from seeing the opportunities that are presented to us right now. It limits that view in a sense. And then it just makes that journey just feel like that much longer. And then we can almost like restrict ourselves from certain things, because it's just like, and I'm not saying we're not being responsible, Cancer, don't get me wrong. But I do feel like there is this energy of like when we get a little too caught up in it. Especially, I kind of feel like maybe more so with like the future type of thinking here, and when we get into those like anxieties and things along those lines, how that kind of like almost that like fear-based type of thinking there, Cancer, is almost like what I'm getting with the Three of Wands here. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Thank you. Oh, interesting, Cancer. I think we got this card yesterday. So you got the sixth card here, which is the Sage card. It's the blessing. You got it upright again, Cancer, which is groovy. And then you got groovy. Interesting. But then you got it's ruled by the moon, and it's ruled by Jupiter here. And I feel like that there is this need of just remembering what a blessing it is to have this moment right here, to do have this level of control, because there's a lot, I feel like, in this life it can feel that we don't have control over, but we can have control of our actions in this present moment. And it's just when we develop that sense of mindfulness and really sort of like and maybe this is finding different, like, maybe for example, maybe using different tools to kind of help you bring you back into the moment. Right? I was talking about with the beads, or maybe this season even like working with like essential oils, possibly different, just, or however it is. Maybe we start I don't know, maybe even get like how it sounded like a song even came into your head. I'm not sure, Cancer, but yeah, I feel like it really is just kind of appreciating what you can manifest in this moment. And then just because even for some, maybe it's just like we're investing in something, and it's just like it's not coming fast enough. It's just like, when am I gonna get this? Like, why aren't you growing? Like it's like looking at this stuff with, I don't know, the things that we invested in, maybe with like dissatisfaction or something along those lines. And I don't know, just missing again, just like the beauty that's going on around, because we're so caught up in all the other things. So just something to be mindful of there, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there, Cancer. Getting caught up in the future, getting caught up in the past, and I feel like especially kind of for both, but really I feel like for us it's like getting caught up in the past can be a really kind of tricky one, considering we're associated with the fourth house that deals with the past. It can be a little tougher there. So be mindful when you get caught up in that spiral there, Cancer. Maybe something, keeping eyes on the moon. Maybe just like finding ways to just like doing some meditation, or even keeping like maybe keeping again yourself a Rhonda, keeping that in your energy so you can got something to kind of ground you or something along those lines, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one Monday.